Hey everyone, What If Fan here, bringing you another exciting part of What If Transmigrated into One Piece and became a Marine. You can find the fanfic title and the original author's name on my Patreon page. Make sure to check it out and show them some love. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. Alright, let's jump into it. Chapter 221, Madara vs. Marines 2. Great! Vice Admiral Garp is here. There's also Fleet Admiral Sengoku and Admiral Kizaru. We are saved. A young Marine spoke, completely relieved. The Marines present eased noticing the arrival of Garp, Sengoku, and Admiral Kizaru. The man in red armor scares them a little. His aura is not in any way inferior to Yonko's. This man going to be out of luck. He's facing the strongest individuals of Marine headquarters. Fwoom. Suddenly, Madara tilted his head to his right while a laser beam shot past his head and exploded upon hitting the sea, triggering a massive blast. Madara's Sharingan followed the person who attacked. Seeing Kizaru's perverted, uncle-like face, he showed a disgusted expression. Young man, that was just a warning shot. If you are here to surrender, now's your chance. If not, you are going to die. Kizaru spoke in a dragging manner. A laser beam formed in his fingertip, ready to shoot. You should be one of the admirals, Kizaru. A Logia fruit ability user who can turn into a light at will. Madara commented. Your face upsets me. As Madara finished his comment, something kicked Kizaru, who was about to shoot his laser beam. His figure sent flying back and crashed into one of the buildings. What the? Everyone present showed an incredulous expression. They wondered, what happened to Admiral Kizaru? Why did he suddenly fly back and crash into the building? None of them noticed the attack. After all, it's Madara's Rinnegan ability, Limbo. Only people like Garp and Sengoku who can perceive the future sensed its presence. Sengoku? Garp's countenance turned solemn. Yes. Someone kind of invisible shadow. Only at the point of contact, I sensed it. Sengoku responded. Garp, he's strong. Yes. At that moment, Madara shifted his attention to Garp and Sengoku. Sensing their aura, he exploded with a strong fighting intent. But he was stopped by countless light particles that formed into Kizaru's figure. He was without any injury. Scary NE. Something invisible kicked me. Kizaru with his wretched face showed a surprised expression. Only at the last moment, his observation Haki noticed the attack. He didn't expect the man to be strong and has weird abilities. He's strong. It's not going to be easy. Kizaru made a judgment in his heart. Why do all troublesome tasks fall on my head? You are good. It seems it's not an exaggeration, Marine admirals are really strong. Madara stretched his arms and legs as if warming up. Hearing this, Kizaru's eyes narrowed. With a wretched face, he uttered his iconic words. Oh. It looks like I was underestimated. Your tone is not small. Have you been kicked at the speed of light? Before he finished speaking, Kizaru's figure suddenly turned into light particles and appeared before Madara in a light mode with his leg whipped at him. As for Uchiha Madara, he effortlessly followed the other party's lightspeed movements with his Sharingan and counterattacked with a kick of his own. Boom! A loud bang sounded when both their attacks collided. The surrounding Marines were startled, as they couldn't follow the movements. When they noticed Madara confronting Kizaru without showing any weakness, they were shocked. Oh my god! This guy blocked Admiral Kizaru's lightspeed kick. A Marine exclaimed. Unbelievable! How did he do it? This man is so strong. Thankfully, we have Vice Admiral Garp and Fleet Admiral Sengoku here. Forget about others, Kizaru himself was surprised by Madara's reflex and physical strength to compete with him equally. At that moment, he noticed his opponent's scarlet pupil. For a moment, he felt a strange force trying to invade his will. It wasn't strong enough to enchant him. Kizaru figured it was the ability of his opponent. You have beautiful eyes, Ne. They can hypnotize or attack one's spirit, right? What a fascinating ability. Is the invisible thing also the ability of the eyes? In response to Kizaru's words, Madara made a series of one-hand seals as he breathed in. Seeing his action, Kizaru elementalized his body ready to retreat. But he was a step late. Fire style, majestic destroyer flame. Gathering the chakra, Madara expelled a massive stream of intense flames that blazed everything in its path. The high temperature of the flames terrified the Marines and forced them to retreat to a safe distance as it began to dissolve the terrain. He can breathe fire? The intensity of the attack is similar to Kaido's Byoolo breath. Kizaru avoided the attack by disappearing and appearing far away from the attack range. He pretended to be scared as he spoke, such terrible destructive power. Noticing Kizaru escaped the flames unharmed, Madara muttered thoughtfully, "It seems ninjutsu is ineffective against Logia devil fruit users." When Kizaru heard the words, he was taken aback for a moment and his eyes showed a surprised expression. "Did you say ninjutsu? Are you from Wano Kuni?" "No." Madara refused flatly. "Hey, wait a minute. Can you tell us your name and where you come from?" Kizaru realized something and asked. As if waiting for the opponent to ask this question, Madara arrogantly proclaimed, "My name's Uchiha Madara. Engrave in your hearts because it will soon resound throughout the world. For that, you have to leave this place alive," Kizaru uttered, leaping high in the air. Yasukani no Magatama. With his arms crossed in front of him, he began to fire a torrent of deadly light particles that bombed Uchiha Madara with devastating force. Facing Kizaru's light beams, Madara snorted. Too flashy. His three Tomo Sharingan eyes turned into a pair of Mangekyo Sharingan. He spoke, "Susanoo." Blue chakra rose around his body. A skeletal structure took shape, followed by muscles and skin. In no time, a humanoid is shaped with armor encasing it for further protection. At that moment, Kizaru's laser beams blitzed Susanoo. Boom! Explosions went off as the attacks began to land on Susanoo, triggering destructive shockwaves. After a minute of bombarding, the smoke and dust cleared, revealing the mighty Susanoo unscathed by Admiral Kizaru's attack. It shocked everyone. None of them could believe their eyes. How is this possible? What is that strange giant? Its defense is terrifying. Garp thought aloud. Whatever it is, we are in trouble. The enemy is much more powerful than we thought. Sengoku clenched his fist. Chapter 222, Might of Susanoo. This blue giant's defense is far more terrifying than he imagined. Kizaru's figure materialized next to Garp and Sengoku. Its defense is terrible. This time, he wasn't pretending. You guys disappoint me. It's just the beginning, so don't fear me yet. There's still time. Saying this, Madara clenched his fist, overflowing with chakra. The blue giant transformed as it grew bigger, developed feet, and stood up. Standing close to 70 meters in height, its towering stature shaded the very Marineford. The Marine soldiers were completely shocked and frightened. Looking at the enormous blue giant, shock, fear, and despair tangled their hearts. Forget about them, even Kizaru, Garp, Sengoku, and other high-level officers were stunned by the stunt pulled by Madara. If they knew it was not Madara's true strength, their hearts may stop beating. With his arms crossed, Madara stood inside the diamond protection of Susanoo. You guys are fortunate to witness the power of Susanoo. Sorry, I think you don't know anything about Susanoo, so let me enlighten you guys a little. This is the ultimate eye technique that materializes a huge chakra and forms a burly giant to fight. In its complete state, Susanoo has the power of gods, symbolizing pure destruction. There's a saying, as long as you see Susanoo with your own eyes, you will inevitably die. Madara explained without holding anything back. He's not Madara if he doesn't show off his strength. Sengoku-san, what are we going to do? I don't think I can overpower him alone. Kizaru asked in a laid-back manner.
Garp, I think it's time we stretch our old bones, Sengoku commented jokingly. Ha ha ha, what are you saying, Sengoku? Though the opponent seems strong, it doesn't require the fleet admiral of Marines to fight. I'm more than enough.
Garp tossed his cape and stepped forward, stretching his neck and rubbing his fist against the left palm.
As Garp prepared for battle, Sengoku commanded the Marines. Elite team, step forward. Others, step back and maintain a safe distance. Let me start.
Kizaru took the lead by turning into light particles. He attacked Madara, bombarding him with laser beams, but this time his attacks were imbued with armament haki.
Boom! Upon collision, the laser beams exploded. Unlike last time, the firepower of the beams cracked Susanoo. Assailed by countless laser beams, the blue giant was forced to take a step back. Oh, impressive! Madara was surprised and stabilized the Susanoo while his chakra restored the cracks in Susanoo.
Imbued with armament haki, the power of the attacks was enhanced to another level.
Haki is a miraculous thing. Madara mused. Just as he balanced the Susanoo, an old figure appeared in front.
It's none other than Garp, the marine hero. With his fist clad in Busashoku haki, Garp punched while the might of the attack landed squarely on Susanoo's stomach region. To Madara's shock, an oppressive force burst out as Garp's fist slammed against Susanoo and sent it flying back while extensive cracks formed on it. Madara along with Susanoo forced to the sea area before the Marineford Bay. Stabilizing his figure, Madara's channeled the chakra to the soul of Susanoo so that it could stand on the sea. Turbulent sea waves swept across all directions as Madara's Susanoo settled down. Just a single action of Susanoo carries frightening fluctuation and destructive power. What a terrifying defensive power. I think most attacks are ineffective against it. Garp commented, landing on the ground. Vice Admiral Garp is mighty. A Marine cheered. But, that thing can take a beating. It's even impervious to Garp-san's fist. At that moment, some people with keen eyes noticed Madara standing on the sea.
Hey, what's happening? Isn't he a demon fruit powerhouse? Why is he not afraid of the seawater?
Madara, who was defensive till now, suddenly changed his behavior, which stunned the others. His sight locked onto the admiral as he waved his right hand.
Following him, the blue Susanoo waved its right hand while a giant knife made of blue chakra condensed.
With a thought, the giant sword swung at Kizaru, who was loitering around.
With a shhh sound, the sword tore through the air. Kizaru was taken aback and instinctively dodged the swing by elementalizing himself, but... Bam!
The attack connected and banged Kizaru, whose figure deformed into a C-shape before flying back and crashing into the Marine headquarters building.
Admiral Kizaru. What happened?
This sudden change horrified the Marines, who regard admirals above everyone else.
I thought the man didn't know haki as he didn't use it till now. A rear admiral exclaimed. It's not haki.
It's something else, but whatever it is, it can hurt Logia users.
A vice admiral with good observation commented. Ah. Kizaru stood up and came out of the ruin made when he crashed.
His state was unseemly of an admiral, bashed. He was injured with blood dripping from his lips and a gashing wound on his stomach.
Still, his injury wasn't life-threatening or serious.
When he actualized next to Garp, he was reprimanded by the latter. Kizaru brat, stay here and protect the young ones. If you get beaten again, it will demoralize the Marines. As Z always says, you rely too much on your fruit power.
You still need training. Kizaru didn't argue.
He shouldn't have underestimated his opponent and slackened.
After scolding Kizaru, Garp faced Madara alone.
A faint grin manifested upon his face. After a long time, he finds a thrill. His fighting momentum radiated off. Feeling the overpowering momentum, Madara turned serious as he mused.
This old man is strong. Garp looked at the Susanoo with hardly a scratch on it. Impressive durability, and it can be restored.
He thought to himself, observing the blue titan. He leaped above as he pulled back his right arm, instinctively. His fist was coated with black hockey within the motion.
"Let's see you take this," the Vice Admiral shouted, black lightning now sparking off the hand itself.
Now up in the air, Garp shouted, "Galaxy Impact," as he snapped his right fist forward with deadly speed and power. There wasn't any collision as Garp's Conqueror Haki allowed him to strike Susanoo without touching it.
The true horror happened moments after the punch. Boom!
A massively powerful shockwave flared from his fist, covering an enormous radius, shattering anything in its range. The shockwave that radiates with black lightning traveled past Susanoo's impervious defense and smashed Madara.
Ugh! With a mighty crash, Madara coughed a mouthful of blood and plummeted to the sea, smote by Garp's fist.
His vital status was unknown. He shouldn't have underestimated the Marines. On the other hand, Garp landed on the ground with his arm lowered and the radiating black hockey fading from it.
There was absolute silence. Vice Admiral Garp is so strong. The eyes of the young Marine sparkled in worship. Chapter 223, Destroyed Marineford. Madara's figure sank to the bottom of the sea, driven by Garp's fist power. He wasn't as gravely injured as the Marines thought.
In the last moment, his skill limbo protected him, withstanding most of the power. Relishing the feeling, he mused.
What an intoxicating battle! Madara's adrenaline pumped after a long time, feeling the thrill of combat. What a magical power Haki is.
That old man can punch. He should be Garp, one of the strongest people in this world. Without Rinnegan, he may not be their match. I had fun today. Better not reveal all my cards, let's keep it for another day.
It's more than enough for a distraction.
With a hand seal, a wood clone split from Madara's body with part of his chakra. Looking at his wooden clone, Madara ordered,
"Show them the power of God." On the surface, the Marines' celebrations didn't last long as the sudden shaking of the sea surface caught their attention. Only Garp didn't show any surprise.
Blue Susanoo emerged out of the water in a style, with Madara's clone showing an arrogant expression.
"It's my turn. It's time you guys taste the power of God." The next moment, Madara along with his Susanoo weaved 3 hand seals simultaneously. Tengai Shinsei. A change happened the next moment, as enormous chakra surged from the Susanoo.
The move drained Madara's wooden clone chakra more than half.
Just as the Marines were wondering what Madara's hand seals represent, a huge shadow engulfed the entire Marineford.
A huge meteorite fell from the sky.
Hee hee ha ha ha. A Marine soldier laughed, welcoming death with open arms.
The sheer enormity of this technique caused the Marines to question if it could even be done by humans.
He wasn't lying. He has the power of gods. And we angered the gods. Fear of death enveloped the Marineford as if all hope was lost.
Forget about others, even Sengoku sweated looking at the huge meteorite that's thrice the size of Marineford Island.
Is Marineford going to be destroyed during my leadership? Move it. What are you guys afraid of? It's a big rock that's slightly bigger than the mountains that I used to punch for practice.
Garp roared and leaped towards it. His roar roused the Marines from fear and stupor. They began to respond. Galaxy Impact, Garp roared and punched with everything he had, injecting all his conquerors and armament Haki.
Boom!
A massively powerful shockwave burst from his fist, fragmenting the huge meteorite. But, the fragmented meteor shattered into countless ones and took a dive. The old man has done his best. Garp muttered, catching his breath.
As for the rest, he believes in the young ones.
As the fragments neared the surface, they glowed red due to friction in the air. Everyone, use all your strength and destroy the fragments. A single one of that is enough to ruin the Marine headquarters.
Sengoku roared and transformed into a giant golden Buddha.
At the same time, Kizaru used his signature light beams and fired them at the falling meteor fragments. With precise control, he alone destroyed most of the fragments.
Meanwhile, the vice admirals and rear admirals used their strongest attacks to destroy the remaining ones. Garp, who was falling after his attack, used the opportunity and kicked some of the fragments at Blue Susanoo. Madara's clone had no intention of dodging, as he served his purpose. A large fragment fell on Susanoo, destroying it along with the clone's body. At the last moment, Garp heard the words of Madara's clone. "We will meet again, Marine." It's not him. Some kind of clone. Garp frowned and thought, trouble. Despite the best efforts from the Marines, few fragments fell on Marineford. The result was... Next day. In his hand, Sengoku was holding a newspaper. How did the news get leaked? Ha! He was furious as he roared and slammed the newspaper on the table. It showed the picture of destroyed Marineford with the title, "Marines Got Defeated?" Didn't you say everything was sealed and no one would know what happened here? Sengoku rebuked. The temporarily made meeting room is packed with high-level Marine officers. All of them lowered their heads, not knowing how the news got leaked. Asshole. Which bastard leaked the news? Is it Morgan's? Akainu's face boiled in rage. After the events, the Marine admirals were called back. Arara, it's going to be a problem. Kuzan shrugged. Damn it. The top-level Marines clenched their hands. It was caused by a single person, Uchiha Madara. They still couldn't come out of yesterday's events. They know too well once this news spreads, what kind of turmoil it will cause in the world, and as Marines, they will be shamed. Isn't this causing them trouble? Vice Admiral Tsuru took the newspaper from the table and read it calmly. It was not released by Morgan's, some local newspaper run by an underground boss. They want to use the news to create disorder and benefit out of it. She analyzed and continued. But, it will soon be acquired by Morgan's and released to the world. It will have a huge impact on us. Does he dare? A vice admiral angrily exclaimed. He dares. Tsuru mildly responded. But no matter how angry they were, things couldn't be changed. They could only accept the facts and quickly think of countermeasures. Vice Admiral Doberman voiced his thoughts. We should immediately issue a statement to the outside world with video Den Mushi, denying the rumors and news. Hearing the proposal, everyone's eyes brightened. Yes, only Marineford is damaged, not the Marines. They have unwavering faith in the Marines' strength and justice. Okay. Immediately arrange everything necessary. I will personally explain the situation to the world. Sengoku commanded. After dealing with the priority, they continued to discuss Uchiha Madara and how they should deal with him. They need to hunt him down to wash off this shame. At the same time, the news caught Morgan's attention and it spread rapidly in Grand Line and Four Seas, causing the entire pirate world to be shaken. As Sengoku and other Marines expected, the news caused a violent shock all over the world. And, the top brass of the world paid special attention to Uchiha Madara, sending their best to find and rope him in. Chapter 224, Time passes, 2 years. Somewhere in the New World. A Marine warship sailed the rough sea. On the ship deck, Blaze looked at the bounty report sent from the headquarters. He was amused. Bounty poster. Name, Uchiha Madara aka the Scarlet Demon. Current bounty, 2,210,000,000 berries. Criminal incidents, voluntarily attacked and destroyed the world government ship, leaving no one alive. The next day, he attacked Marineford openly and confronted Admiral Kizaru, Fleet Admiral Sengoku, Vice Admiral Garp, and other elites before leaving with no injuries. Extremely dangerous. Not to engage in battle without an admiral. Abilities, mysterious eye powers, not confirmed whether it's a devil fruit ability or not, proficiency in ninjutsu, clone techniques, or whatnot. Instead of stating it as a bounty poster, the right word would be intelligence report, only circulated among top Marine officers with sufficient strength. Well, it should be enough to shift the attention. Blaze thought and shifted his attention. Unlike him, Regis and Kuina were taken by surprise finding headquarters was destroyed. This man isn't simple. Regis commented, looking at Madara's bounty poster. His eyes are different. Kuina spoke, finding Madara's Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan gorgeous.
Unlike them, the world found Madara in the bounty poster released by Marines in the newspaper. Especially, his bounty shocked many.
Madara's appearance and deeds shocked the world. Countless top people sent their best looking for him, but he was nowhere to be found.
With his skills, no one could find him if he wanted.
As for Madara, he disappeared without bothering the fuss.
Occasionally, he would reveal his whereabouts to keep the Marines and the world government busy.
He traveled the world enjoying the scenery that was completely different from the world of Hokage.
Time passed as events began to unfold.
Like in the original work, Rookie Pirate and Supernova Ace joined Whitebeard Pirates.
Following that, the 1520 Reverie took place. After that, there weren't any major changes that disturbed the already chaotic world. There was an unusual peace that bothered some. Blaze 2 reduced his presence, patrolling the sea as Marine Vice Admiral.
He gathered attribute points by vanquishing some hefty bounty pirates.
Of course, there was a time when he clashed with the Yonko group Red Hair Pirates.
It didn't attract much attention as the fight happened on an unexplored island.
It took him some effort to defeat Shanks. His Haushiko Haki growth impressed Blaze. It earned him some free attribute points. There are times some arrogant pirates come looking for him, voluntarily, to claim the title, the strongest man in the world. As a result, they were either killed or sent to impel down. Like that, 2 years passed.
Timeline, 1522.
Today, Blaze got the news from headquarters that something happened in Whitebeard Pirates. A guy named Teach killed the 4th Division commander, stole the fruit, and fled the crew. Following that, the 2nd Division commander of Whitebeard Pirates, Ace, set out on his own to find Teach, who betrayed their father.
Since Teach acquired the dark fruit, then Luffy may have set sail already. Blaze's eye narrowed. It's time to do it.
Reading the report, Regis exclaimed.
This person named Teach is insane.
He killed his own crew member for a devil fruit. I don't think he's insane but extremely sharp, Kuina commented.
After 2 years, she matured into a fair woman, tall with a robust and athletic physique. Just to look, everyone would notice her sharp aura.
Under Blaze's care, her strength underwent an amazing transformation. And, the new world helped in polishing her skills. Even admirals would find it taxing to defeat her. She developed her devil fruit and haki well.
Why? Regis asked.
First, this person killed the division commander of Whitebeard Pirates in silence, without alerting the others.
So, he's strong. Second, he killed the crew member even after knowing Whitebeard's personality.
Meaning, he has a clear goal and knows what he's doing.
Kuina analyzed. Clap. Hearing her analysis, Blaze clapped. Wonderful, Kuina. Good observation. Walking towards the ship's hull, Blaze spoke as he gazed at the far horizon. Be ready, guys. The world is going to shift. Hearing his words, Regis and Kuina straightened their backs. Are we doing it now, Blaze-san? As Blaze's close confidants, they know some of his plans. Well, not now. But, shortly, within 6 months or so. Blaze commented and smiled. Let's go and see how everything is going. With that, Blaze, Kuina, and Regis set off. Since their destination is the sky, Blaze's Nin Cloud, Little White, helped them on the travel. On the way, Blaze looked at his status panel. Name, Blaze Hunt. Occupation, Marine. Constitution, 79.9, 2996/3000. Devil Fruit, 79.9. Haki, 84.6. Free Attribute Point, 10.520.5. There wasn't a major change in his attributes. Both his Devil Fruit and Haki attributes rose by 2 to 3 points while his Constitution stuck at 79.9. Meanwhile, he accumulated over 10 free attribute points that grew from 10.5 to 20.5. He got 3 points for defeating Shanks and his group, 3 from Garp, and 2 from Kizaru in the context of sparring, while the remaining points were collected over 2 years by defeating pirates. It wasn't easy for him to earn these points. Only pirates over a 1 billion bounty earn him points, and he defeated most of the known ones.
To gather more points, he can only go to impel down.
His god's blood is just short of 4 drops to complete the transformation.
He doesn't know what kind of change it would bring. He was full of expectation. In an hour or so, they reached an island that hovered in mid-air with the support of clouds. The island was as big as Marine Ford with a plain surface and some buildings. The name of the island is Dawn, named and created artificially by Blaze's powers. He's using this place to create a force of his own. Thousandsome soldiers could be seen training at the island center, overseen by revolutionary Sabo and Koala. Even among revolutionaries, only Dragon, Sabo, Koala, and Kuma know this place. On Blaze's side, Kuina, Regis, Hancock, and Madara know about it.
Seeing his arrival, Sabo greeted him. Blaze-san, it's been some time since you came. Dragon-san left a few days back. Meanwhile, Koala greeted Kuina.
They became close friends over these 2 years.
Wow, Kuina, you grew taller again. But, I still look the same.
As for Regis, he stood there awkwardly with no one paying him attention.
It's why I hate this place. How's everything going? Blaze asked Sabo. Good. We are all set. Excitement could be seen on Sabo's face as he balled his fist. If everything goes well, we can dethrone the world government. Where's Madara? Blaze asked. Chapter 225, Half-God Blaze.
He's at the back, overseeing the competition among the Demon Squad.
Sabo replied. Demon Squad. It brought a humorous smile to Blaze's face.
It was Madara's idea as he handpicked 20 people who were best of the best among the thousands of recruits. He did it on a whim to relieve his boredom, but it evolved into something none of them expected. 2 years ago, they recruited thousands of people from all over the world to create a force. They just didn't recruit anyone but people affected by either the world government, pirates, or Marines. The people with the determination to change the world. With Madara's Sharingan, the screening process was smooth without any undercovers or traitors. Of course, it caught the world government and Marines' attention. But with Revolutionary, Blaze, and Madara working together, everything went smoothly. They recruited around 2,500 people and started to train them to be better combatants and intelligence agents. After 1 year, around 1,500 of them were dispatched to 4 Seas and the first half of Grand Line. All of them enlisted in the Marines. Not to attract attention, they hid their strength and stayed at the bottom position as seaman recruits or first class. As for the remaining 1,000 people, they are still here. Some of them with good knowledge even learned hockey. They are not to be underestimated. And, Sabo's face turned solemn as he continued, we had intruders a few days back, just a day after Dragon-san left. Oh? Blaze wasn't surprised. Is it CP0? Dawn Island wasn't that easy to invade as the entire island was encircled in a heat field by Blaze. Without his perception, it's difficult to set foot on the island. But, with rare devil fruit abilities, it can be done. Yes. They appeared suddenly without any alert as if they teleported here. Sabo described the process. Thankfully, Madara-san was here. He was truly powerful, killing them all in a few moves. The world government has been trying to find this location for some time. As for how they found this place, Sabo's guess is they followed Uchiha Madara. Talking, they walked to the other end of the island. The Dawn Island is separated into 2 by a huge building in the middle. Should we change the location? Sabo asked. Let them come. With me here, they can't do anything. Madara commented in an overbearing tone. He has the strength to support his claim. It doesn't matter. The world government will be busy in the upcoming days, so they won't have time for another visit. Blaze responded after Madara with a smile. Looking at Madara, he commented in a joking manner. You have changed. Madara. I didn't expect you to instruct and train the young people. I find it fun. Typical Madara answer. With his arms crossed, Madara watched the contest with his Sharingan opened. Is it Jax and Akira? Blaze asked. No matter how many times he gets defeated, he never gives up.
A typical Naruto kind of guy, don't you agree? Naruto? What a bad memory. Madara snorted but agreed. Akira was recruited by Blaze.
She's a royal born, a princess, but she lost her kingdom, her father, mother, and everything she loved was destroyed in a single night.
She was captured and kept as a prisoner. Blaze rescued and brought her here.
On the other hand, Jax was recruited by Madara.
He's a sunny guy with an unyielding spirit. Among the demon squad, Akira and Jax are the best. They are devil fruit users and proficient in armament and observation haki. Akira is a Zoan fruit user, and that too, a mythical one is she 8 Tori Tori no Mi model, Thunderbird. She can transform into a huge Thunderbird with the power of thunder. As for Jax, he's a Logia person who ate the Cloud fruit with the same thunder power. Blaze exchanged it for him. Like them, half of the demon squad is devil fruit users. Looking at their fighting, Blaze smiled. Everything's going well. It's time I improve my strength.
Sabo, Madara, I came here for another important matter.
Don't let anyone disturb me. Uttering the words, Blaze vanished from the spot. Blaze's figure appeared in a room designed specifically for him.
Though he comes rarely, he has a private room here. He needs them during the time he concentrates on producing God's blood. Sitting cross-legged, Blaze relaxed himself for some time before proceeding further. With a thought, he began absorbing the natural energy present in the surroundings. Like the first time, he fused the natural energy with his life energy, Nin, before using his haki to form God's blood.
The entire process didn't take any longer than 10 minutes.
He felt exhausted with his life energy and haki was depleted at the same time. In his status bar, God's blood count increased by 1, 2997/3000.
3 more to go.
He meditated for his life energy and haki to recover before repeating the process. A day passed. A new day started with the sun peeking from the distant horizon. At that moment, Blaze finally produced the last drop, increasing God's blood count to 3000. As soon as he completed the process, an amazing transformation took place inside his body. His blood was still red, but it had a golden sheen around them. They exuded a holy aura, pristine and refined. As God's blood flowed around his body, it brought a divine transformation. A hot sensation appeared, bringing forth slight pain. However, this feeling didn't make him feel uncomfortable but made him understand something magical was happening in his body. At the same time, he felt a sense of clarity. It was as if something that had been blocking his brain for a long time had been broken. It was a wonderful sensation, a complete metamorphosis of both body and spirit.
The feeling lasted for a few minutes before everything went back to normal.
Rising to his feet, Blaze clenched his fist, feeling the power within him, and noticed the changes. There wasn't a major change in his appearance, but his entire being was shrouded in a silky layer of silver aura.
With a thought, the flimsy layer seeped into his skin, disappearing from the view.
After his physique reached the half-god level, his physical powers peaked to the maximum.
The feeling of excitement.
Blaze wanted to laugh, but he suddenly remembered the scene of Madara's crazy laughter when the other party came to life and tasted his blood.
It won't suit me, I think. Chapter 226, Haki 100.0.
When Blaze summoned the system panel to check his attributes, he was stunned by the huge changes.
Name, Blaze Hunt. Occupation, Marine. Constitution, 100.0, Half-God. Devil Fruit, 79.9. Haki, 87.6. Free Attribute Point, 20.5.
As his physique reached the half-god level, he was endowed with an innate ability, Divine Protection. It's a passive skill that activates if his life is in danger. Once activated, he won't be endangered within a short few minutes. As to what extent, Blaze has no idea, and he didn't plan on testing it. Because the protection will lose its effect after serving its purpose and would take months to activate again. With his current strength, almost no one can threaten his life aside from mysterious and ancient weapons.
Still, divine protection is an overpowering skill that can save his life at a critical time.
Another thing he noticed was that he could still produce God's blood, but it was of no use to him. However, he can still use them for other purposes. Aside from that, his hockey attribute rose by another 3 points after his physique transformed to the limit.
Blaze then set his sight on free attribute points. He has 20.5 points.
With that, he can push any one of his attributes, Devil Fruit or Hockey, to full level. After pondering for some time, he decided to max his Hockey attribute. In this world, Hockey is the ultimate power. And maxing his Devil Fruit only brings him trouble. If he wasn't careful, the power of the sun would destroy everything. Well, he can max them after gaining attribute points again. Thinking over it, Blaze raised his Hockey attribute to 100.0. As soon as he did that, he felt a pang in his mind as his spirit underwent an incredible transformation. As his Hockey hit 100, without his knowledge the air around him twisted for a moment and ripples went in all directions. His Hockey affected everything within a few kilometers range. Black streams of energy flashed around, scaring everyone present on the Dawn Island. Before they could react, sheer pressure knocked them out. Aside from Sabo, Madara, Regis, Kuina, and a few strong people of Demon Squad, no one was conscious.
Even Koala lost consciousness. Damn! Such a strong Hockey. Is Blaze-san doing?
One of the Demon Squad members uttered with a slight dizziness.
Not just him, aside from Kuina, Sebo, and Madara, others were affected by the Hockey. Just to remain standing, they had to use every ounce of their willpower.
Thankfully, Blaze's Hockey disappeared the next moment as if nothing had happened. Otherwise, they would have been brought to their knees.
Are you guys okay? Sabo asked the Demon Squad members and glanced toward Blaze's room. I think it was done unintentionally, considering Blaze-san's strength.
He won't make such mistakes.
Should I go and Che? Before Kuina could finish her sentence, Blaze's figure flashed before their eyes. Sorry guys. My bad. Blaze apologized and asked, no one's injured, right? Not that serious.
I think they are all just knocked out.
Sabo replied. Thankfully, it was a wisp of my aura. There's no physical damage. Otherwise, this island would have already gone. My Hockey is too powerful. Blaze once again summoned the system panel for a look. Name, Blaze Hunt. Occupation, Marine. Constitution, 100. 0, Half God. Devil Fruit, 79.9. Hockey, 100.0. Free attribute point, 8.1.
After a look, Blaze then shifted his attention to the people.
Sabo, once everyone wakes up, convey my apologies. Sabo nodded. You got powerful. Madara suddenly commented with eyes squinted.
From Blaze, he sensed danger. It means the other party has the strength to kill him. He knows Blaze was strong from their first meeting, but right now it's different.
Blaze-san, please show us your strength.
You always elude us with ridiculous reasons, but not today. Broaden our horizon and show the power of the world's strongest man.
Jack stepped forward and shouted. You? First, defeat the girl Akira, then you can speak.
Madara dismissed him with cold words that pierced the other party's heart.
Hearing it, Jax's head dropped as if he was depressed. It brought laughter to everyone's faces. No wonder Madara recruited him. His personality is very similar. In Jax, Blaze sees the personality of the protagonists.
At the same time, his strength is also best.
Okay. You guys, be ready. The time to face the world is near. Blaze intimated.
Train well, you won't have such opportunities again.
I will come back after a few days. After discussing future plans with Sabo and Madara, he left Dawn Island with Kuina and Regis. He's a vice admiral, he can't be missing for a long time from his position.
In the following days, Blaze practiced to familiarize himself with the sudden increase in his strength.
After some days, a major news spread the Grand Line.
One of the warlords of the sea, Crocodile, was defeated. The reason behind it wasn't published, but anyone with discerning eyes could see the rise of Straw Hat Pirates' bounties. Just as Blaze was enjoying the last few peaceful days before the storm, an intelligence report from a friend disrupted the calmness. The world government wants to recruit Edward Weevil as the warlord of the sea to fill the vacant seat left by Crocodile. Hearing the news, Blaze's eyes narrowed with the intent to kill. Zephyr-sensei lost his arm during the time he was teleported to the HXH world. After coming back and meeting him, he felt regretful that he couldn't stop the tragedy from happening. From that day, he's been searching for Edward Weevil. Somehow, he couldn't find the other party even with Marine's intelligence.
Is it accurate? Why didn't I get the report from headquarters? Blaze asked. Do you think Sengoku-san doesn't know that you were searching for the other party? Gion, on the other end of the call, asked back. Yes. It seems like my guess is true. Blaze sighed. Just as he thought, the world government has some kind of connection with Miss Buchan or Edward Weevil. Tell me the location. Chapter 227, Edward Weevil. Room of Authority, Mary Gios. Can't contact the CP0 squad? Elder J. Garcia Saturn had a thoughtful expression upon hearing the report from the agent. Considering that man's strength, we can boldly assume the squad's exterminated. Elder Topman Warcury commented. Uchiha Madara. His origin is mysterious. He's as strong as Yonko. Combined with his unique ninjutsu, this person is very difficult to track and hunt. We have been pursuing him for 2 years and lost many good agents in the process. Finally, we have located his hideout, and as we suspected, he is building his own army, said Elder Marcus Mars. What's his purpose? If we know that, we can decide our move. If he wants to play a pirate game like others, it doesn't matter. But, we can't let him grow into another revolutionary that opposes us. The katana-wielding elder voiced his thoughts. If it comes to that, we should annihilate him at all cost. Elder J. Garcia Saturn said. There's also that Blaze. He's been silent for some time. Above everyone, he's the most dangerous. If he shows any sign of revolting, we should use everything we have to eliminate him. Let's wait and see. We are not without options. Swamp Island, somewhere in paradise. It's an uninhabited, forested wet island. It's unfit for people to live in as it rains for nearly 20 hours a day. Only pirates with their logpoles locked onto this island stumbles here. But now, half of the island is devastated with traces of a battle could be seen. I'm sorry, Mommy. Edward Weevil apologized in a whiny, snot-nosed manner. At his feet, Buchan, a short elderly woman with blonde hair, hit Weevil with her walking stick. I told you to be careful. Look at now, you destroyed their pirate ship along with ours and sank it to the bottom of the ocean. How are we gonna leave now? Damn the rain. I hate it. Buchan reprimanded. I will shield you, Mommy. Weevil covered Buchan from the rain with his huge body. Oh. Aren't you a sweet boy? Mommy loves you more than anything. Buchan praised him with honey words. Mommy, I have one small doubt. Am I really Whitebird's son? Weevil asked, uncertain. You are. You will find how similar you are to your father when you meet him. Why hasn't Dad come to see us? Before Buchan could reply, both of them noticed a flash of golden glow. The next moment, a figure in a marine cape magically stood in the place. It stunned both Weevil and Buchan. Mother, it's a marine that we killed before. Should I kill him in the name of Whitebeard? Edward Weevil brandished his naginata and asked. On the other hand, Buchan sweated seeing Blaze. If it was anyone else, she wouldn't care, but Blaze is different. Why is he here? I finally found you guys. I've been searching your traces for some time. Blaze chuckled. After getting the location from Guion, he teleported using his devil fruit ability to come here as fast as he could. Looking at Weevil, he's a stocky-built man, with a thick mane of blonde hair and an exaggeratedly long white mustache. Blaze finds him dramatic.
Standing close to 22 feet in height, he's taller and bigger than Whitebeard himself.
He really inherited Whitebeard's monstrous physique. Blaze mused. Weevil, let's run. He's not someone we can fight. Buchan leaped onto Weevil's shoulder and told. Huh, why should we run, Mommy? Weevil asked stupidly. With me here, do you think you can run?
Blaze raised his eyes.
You shouldn't have heard Zephyr-sensei. If something happens to us, Whitebeard won't let it slide. Buchan threatened, but she knew it wouldn't intimidate the man.
Blaze chuckled.
Knowing running isn't an option, Buchan commanded. Weevil, attack him. If we want to leave here alive, we have to kill this man. Moreover, he's defeated your father once. Hearing her last words, Weevil's expression underwent a change.
With a glaring look on his face, he asked.
Did you hurt, Daddy? What a weird brain circuit. Blaze didn't reply as he knew Weevil's intelligence was that of a child.
Wielding a naginata similar to Whitebeard, he dashed forth and swung the weapon with oppressive strength and barbarity. The swing tore the air like butter and sought to slash him. Facing the attack, Blaze simply blocked it with his left index finger without even haki. With a half-god level physique, such a clumsy attack without haki couldn't hurt him. Forcing back the weapon with a slight push, Blaze jumped a little higher than Weevil's head and punched by balling his fist.
Bang! Upon collision, the opponent's huge body crashed onto the muddy ground.
The impact and pure raw power behind the attack cratered the ground and triggered a shockwave that stopped the pelting rain for a second before it rained again. In front of Blaze, Weevil's like a child with no strength to fight back. Weevil stood up from the crater with blood dripping from his mouth.
Son, are you okay? Buchan asked from the distance.
Such an incredible physique, I think it's superior to Whitebeard.
If Blaze's guess wasn't wrong, Buchan created Weevil by conceiving with Whitebeard's sperm, or he was simply cloned by experiments of Whitebeard's gene. Does the world government know about this?
With ferocious might, Weevil leaped from the crater and swirled the naginata over his head as his body descended towards Blaze. As he closed, he hacked his weapon vertically. Avoiding the swing with a sidestep in a casual manner, Blaze lashed his hand at Weevil's shoulder while an invisible haki extended from his right hand like a knife and cleaved Weevil's hand off his shoulder. Blood splashed. His right hand dropped to the ground, twitching slightly.
Ah, Mommy, I can't feel my right hand. Screaming in pain, Weevil rolled on the ground. To Blaze's astonishment, after a few seconds, Weevil stopped screaming and got to his feet, snot-nosed. Gripping the naginata with his left hand, he attacked again. Swish! Blood splashed. Weevil's left hand made an arc in the air before dropping to the ground. Ah, Mommy, I can't feel my left hand. Screaming in pain, Weevil rolled on the ground. After a few seconds, he once again got to his feet. Mommy, I can't feel both my hands, how should I attack? Weevil asked. Imbuing his arm with haki, Blaze punched Weevil in the head, knocking him unconscious. Killing this type of person is easy, but he wants them to feel pain. If I see or hear him having the arms again, I will sever his legs next and then his head, along with yours. Warning Buchan, Blaze's figure disappeared from the place. As soon as he was gone, Buchan went close to Weevil and caressed his cheek. My son. Mommy, will Dad avenge me? I doubt it. It's my assumption that Edward Weevil cut Z's arm. I'm also not sure. After this chapter, the story will enter the main timeline. Have a great day all. Chapter 228, Shanks contacts Whitebeard. A month passed by in silence. Regis, tell me what's happening around the world? Blaze asked with a yawn as he relaxed in a recliner. Blaze-san, it's as you expected. Something's happening in the sea. First, Red Hair sent a messenger named Rockstar with a letter to contact Whitebeard, but the latter ripped up Shanks's letter. After Crocodile's defeat, a meeting was ordered for the remaining warlords of the sea. But only 3 people, Don Quixote da Flamingo, Bartholomew Kuma, and Mihawk, attended. At the meeting, Lafitte, a former peace officer from West Blue, came to recommend Blackbeard in place of Crocodile's vacant seat. He possibly joined the Blackbeard pirates. But Fleet Admiral Sengoku rejected it, saying the warlord position couldn't be given to any nameless person. And, yesterday this happened. Saying this, Regis handed him a newspaper.
The front page of the newspaper displayed the picture of the smoky ruins of Enies Lobby.
Seeing this, Blaze smiled. It's been some time since I last saw that brat Luffy.
I heard Garpsan set out to capture this pirate and end his pirate journey.
With Vice Admiral Garp taking action, Straw Hat pirates are done for. Regis commented. Which grandfather captures his own grandson? Blaze shook his head. He wasn't interested in the grandfather and grandson game. Regis then looked at Kuina, as new Kuina's friend Zoro joined this pirate group. Kuina looked at Zoro's wanted poster. Come, Zoro. I will wait for you at the top. I won't lose. What about Shanks and Whitebeard, is there any news of their meeting? Blaze asked, interested. As an Earthling who watched One Piece, the first clash between Whitebeard and Shanks could be said as an epic scene. Since he has the ability, he can't miss that.
Well, Shanks disappeared from his territory while the Marine unit in charge of watching his movements was clueless about his whereabouts. If nothing goes wrong, Shanks will make contact with Whitebeard in a day or two. Regis voiced his thoughts and continued. And, I got this news from an old friend. We didn't receive any report from headquarters. Meaning, Fleet Admiral doesn't want us to know about it. They know Fleet Admiral Sengoku's afraid Blaze will do something. As if he didn't hear Regis's words, Blaze sprang to his feet and commanded the unit to hurry, knowing there was less time.
Let's go. Quick. We can't miss the clash between two Yonkos. It will be entertaining. Regis's lips twitched seeing this scene. Sengoku-san's going to kill me for real this time. He couldn't understand why Blaze is interested in the exchange between Yonko whom he already defeated. Next day. Blaze's appearance startled the Marine unit in charge of watching Whitebeard pirates and preventing Red Hair Shanks from meeting Whitebeard. Vice Admiral Blaze, we didn't receive any report that you are coming, do you have any orders?
An unknown Rear Admiral gave a standard salute and spoke in a hesitant manner while sweat drenched his forehead. He was there at Marine Ford when Blaze fought and repelled that enormous dragon beast named Kaido. Though Blaze looked simple, standing in front of him he felt pressure even as a Rear Admiral.
At ease. Just do your duties, I'm just here to watch. Blaze dismissed the Rear Admiral and looked at the distant Moby Dick. It's been some time since I saw Whitebeard.
Perceiving the other party's haki, Blaze found it faint. At the same time, on the Whitebeard ship, someone noticed Blaze.
Oh Yaji, it's him. Vice Admiral Blaze, he's here. What? It created a slight panic and bitterness.
They won't forget this man who defeated their father.
The defeat made them look weak and brought countless troubles to the Whitebeard pirates. Don't worry. From the looks of it, he isn't here to fight.
Marco spoke, after observing Blaze's action.
He should be here to watch fun between me and that kid Shanks. Whitebeard thought.
At that moment, a Marine soldier shouted from the lookout tower. It's the ship of Red Hair pirates.
7 o'clock.
Their arrival tensed the atmosphere while Blaze watched the slowing approaching Red Hair ship with interest. He pulled a snack pocket out of nowhere and began to munch them.
Chief, it's Blaze.
Lucky Roo informed Shanks.
Should we make a run? What's he doing here? Shanks came out of his cabin and looked at Blaze. There's no need. He shouldn't be here to fight. Ben Beckman, who knew about Blaze's personality, guessed. Well, we can then ignore him. Let's go and meet Whitebeard. Shanks ordered.
As his ship sailed past the Marine ship, Blaze smiled and waved his hand at Shanks as if greeting a friend. But everyone on Red Hair's ship was on high alert.
They knew Blaze well, he wasn't someone to be underestimated.
Meanwhile at Marine headquarters. After hearing Blaze's arrival, Sengoku stood up from his seat and nearly cursed aloud.
What's he doing there? How did he get the news? Sengoku frowned and found it not impossible to know, assuming Blaze's current reputation.
Make sure he doesn't do anything stupid and keep him on the ship, Sengoku ordered via the Den Mushi. Hearing the command, the Marine responsible for communication stuttered.
This, Fleet Admiral Sengoku, it's Vice Admiral Blaze, we can't. Tell him it's Fleet Admiral's order. Saying this, Sengoku ended the communication, gritting his teeth. On Whitebird's ship, Whitebeard is informed of Shanks's arrival like in the original series. Shanks boarded Whitebird's ship while Marco ordered the newcomers to go inside the ship. But, it was too late as some of the Whitebeard pirates began to fall with a loud thud. With every step Shanks takes, his conqueror's haki increases by 1 level. When he finally reached the enemy's deck, his haki peaked to the limit. Oh, what a momentum! Didn't I say it will be exciting to watch? Blaze exclaimed. Regis and Kuina, who were behind him, also watched the grandeur, Shanks's overpowering entrance. This time, they agreed with Blaze. It was awesome to watch. Whitebird and Shanks discussed face to face while savoring the wine brought by Shanks while Whitebird's men left the ship. Don't know what went wrong, but after a few minutes into the discussion, both the Yonkos clashed. Boom! With their collision, the cloud above split from the impact. After a second, a powerful haki shockwave traveled past everyone, knocking out a few. Contrary to expectations, Whitebird and Shanks didn't get into a full-scale battle. They ended the discussion with the last clash. Chapter 229, Blackbeard Pirates. After a few days, Marineford. Blaze and his unit arrived at the headquarters after watching the clash between Whitebeard and Shanks as Fleet Admiral Sengoku called him back. As Blaze set foot on the headquarters, he saw Akainu coming out of his office. Noticing Blaze, Akainu also stopped in his tracks. As they both looked at each other, tension sparked in the air. The temperature rose by a few degrees. Though he thrashed Akainu 2 years back, it was by disguising his face. As a Marine, it's been nearly 10 years since Blaze last met Akainu. At that time, he was beaten half to death by the other party. Regis, who's behind Blaze, sweated, feeling the uneasiness in the air. As for Kuina, she didn't think much of Akainu. Sakazuki, you look good. Blaze smirked. He could tell Akainu's haki had grown since he last met him. Possibly, it grew after the last beating. Blaze. Akainu slightly gritted his teeth. He'd been hearing his deeds for some time, so he knew how strong Blaze was. But, he couldn't accept it. In fact, he regrets not killing him when he had the chance. Are you regretting it? Feeling Sakazuki's emotions, Blaze chuckled. Snort *, don't think you are above everyone after beating Whitebeard. He was already old with 1 step into his grave. Sakazuki snorted. Want to try? Blaze narrowed his eyes, exerting pressure on Sakazuki. I want to. Sakazuki's right arm transformed into raging magma. You too, stop it. Sengoku arrived at the right time and intervened, preventing the situation from escalating further. Blaze wasn't interested in fighting Sakazuki, who already lost to him. Sending Akainu away, Sengoku led Blaze to the Fleet Admiral's office while Kuina and Regis stood outside. Inside the office, Sengoku sat in his seat while Blaze seated opposite. You know about Ace's background, right? Sengoku suddenly asked. Yes, Blaze calmly replied. Do you know what kind of impact it would cause once the world discovers Ace is Roger's son? Sengoku asked, with hands under the chin. Blaze could tell Sengoku was serious. He should be. A son isn't responsible for a father's crime. It ends with Roger's death. Blaze replied and asked, how do you know about Ace? Garp-san won't reveal this kind of thing. An hour back, we received a call from Blackbeard Pirates. The former member of Whitebeard Pirates, Teach, who calls himself Blackbeard, told us this information. He captured Ace. After some investigation, we confirmed the intel was true. Garp also acknowledged Ace as Roger's son. Sengoku briefed. World government wants to publicly execute Ace, eradicating Roger's bloodline. Come on, Sengoku-san. Feed this to someone else, I'm not a fool. Blaze rolled his eyes. Alright, alright. Aside from eradicating Roger's bloodline, it's a show of power and a demonstration of Marine's authority. Sengoku shrugged. You want to eliminate Whitebeard. Blaze exposed the crux. I know you have some relationship with Ace. Sengoku stretched his words. He didn't dare to plan Ace's execution without knowing Blaze's thoughts. He knew how strong Blaze was. The strong has to be respected. I won't interfere unless Garp-san asks me to do something. Understanding Sengoku's plight, Blaze made his stance clear. Good. Sengoku let out a sigh of relief and spoke. Blackbeard Teach will be declared as Warlord of the Sea, as Crocodile's successor once he hands over Ace to the Marines. What do you want me to do? Secure Ace and send him to Impel Down. Though everything's kept confidential, I don't want to risk. Sengoku spoke. If Whitebeard knows about Ace's arrest before they make sufficient preparation, the outcome may be disastrous. Good. Blaze agreed and left Sengoku's office. Shortly after his unit left the Marine Ford, they were informed of the trade location for Ace. To Blaze's astonishment, it's Banero Island where Ace and Blackbeard should have fought. Blackbeard Teach. This guy is too overconfident. Should I kill him? Blaze thought. Banero Island. The entire island was destroyed after the battle between Ace and Blackbeard. Right now, it was just a plain island with no town or rocks. Will the world government give us the warlord position after we hand over Ace? Jesus Burgess asked. Well, they have given the word. And, we have shown our value with strength and invaluable information. Lafitte spoke. Teach, you bastard. Kill me. Ace cursed, a little weak to move. Being kept captive inside the Blackbeard's dark domain is not a good feeling. Oh. Ace, you woke up. Zay ha 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 ha. I won't kill you. You are too valuable. I'm going to hand you over to the Marines. Blackbeard laughed aloud. Captain, a Marine ship is approaching. Van Auger, who was on the lookout, notified. Who did the Navy send? Is it an admiral? Jesus Burgess asked. It's Vice Admiral Blaze. Van Auger replied with gleaming eyes. Who in the world doesn't know of the world's strongest man, Blaze? At first, it wasn't recognized by the world, but as time passed, people gradually began to accept it because there was no strong person who could claim the title from him. Are you serious? Damn it. What the hell, that guy's a trouble. We're getting out of here. Leave Ace here. Blackbeard left with his crew in a hurry. Fuck. They sent him just for an exchange. Captain, is he that strong? Burgess asked. He's freakishly strong. I was there at Moby Dick when he defeated Whitebeard. That battle was earth-shattering. Blackbeard told. Though Whitebeard's condition wasn't at the best condition, Blackbeard believes even if Whitebeard was at his prime, Blaze would still defeat him. As a cunning man, Blackbeard knew his strength well. Only when he achieves his goals, he would think of opposing Blaze. When Ace heard the name Blaze, the memories of East Blue appeared in his mind. After thinking of Whitebeard, tears streamed from his face. Oyagi, please don't do anything stupid. Shortly after Blackbeard left, Blaze landed on the island along with his unit. Kuina, Regis, search the entire island. If you spot Blackbeard, inform me. After walking to the island center, Blaze saw Ace lying weakly on the ground with wounds all over his body. Yo! Ace! It's been some time since I last saw you. Blaze walked near Ace and spoke. Blaze! Ace called out weakly and stood on his feet. He didn't struggle as if waiting to be handcuffed. You didn't do anything wrong, Ace. It's the world that's wrong. Blaze expressed his thoughts and nodded his head at the soldiers. They secured him with sea stone handcuffs and led him into the marine ship. At that moment, Regis and Kuina came back and reported. Blaze-san, there's no sight of Blackbeard and his crew. I think they left after seeing you on the ship. MN. Let's go. Chapter 230, Impel Down. Impel Down.
A Marine battleship could be seen docked in front of the Impel Down entrance. It took Blaze's unit some days to reach Impel Down. Blaze got down from the ship along with Regis and Kowina while Marine soldiers under his command escorted Ace. "Vice Admiral Blaze, you are here. Headquarters notified us of the prisoner." Magellan, chief warden of the Impel Down, was waiting for him at the entrance with his people.
Magellan. Blaze nodded his head.
It's not his first time, he has come here many times escorting criminals. On the other hand, Magellan was respectful to Blaze. He respects the latter's strength and his ability to deter countless pirates roaming the sea. With Magellan leading the way, they went down to the lower floor through the lift. Along the way, screaming, pleading, wailing, all kinds of sounds could be heard as they passed each floor. Magellan explained each floor. Though Blaze had come to Impel Down before, it was just to hand over the criminals. He hadn't even visited the first floor. It's the first time for him to truly enter Impel Down. In a few minutes, they reached the lowest level of Impel Down, Eternal Hell. It is where insanely powerful prisoners who committed major crimes or are considered threats to the world government are kept. Criminals here are basically erased from history. The originally silent prison came alive with the sudden arrival of visitors. "Oh, isn't it Chief Warden Magellan? You haven't died yet." A pirate was ridiculed. Another one cursed, "Go to hell, you diarrhea monster. Everyone protect your noses, you may die from the sudden smell." Ha ha ha. Laughter spread the floor. "Isn't this Vice Admiral Blaze? The day I get out, I will kill you." A pirate spat viciously. After being captured by Blaze, he was sent to this hellish place. As for Blaze, he didn't even remember him, but his words stirred the entire floor. "What? Blaze is here. Where is he? I'm going to kill him." "No. I'm the one who's going to kill him." Another pirate yelled. "Noisy." Blaze squinted while his haki erupted. Terrifying oppression blazed in all directions, and the tremendous output of haki knocked 90% of criminals held in eternal hell. What a powerful haki! Magellan widened his eyes at the show of power. One has to understand criminals locked in eternal hell aren't normal people. All of them are powerful criminals with terrifying bounties. Still, they couldn't withstand Blaze's haki. "Blaze!" A hoarse shout attracted Blaze's attention. When he glanced at the source, he saw a shriveled man with one leg missing held in a single-person cell. "You are Speed, right? You look good. It was like yesterday, but it's been nearly 10 years. Time's a cruel thing." Blaze laughed as if he was meeting an old friend. "Ah." "Cough, cough," Speed roared and exploded with Conqueror's haki. "I will kill you." "What a weak haki." Blaze commented and waved his right hand. A black arrow actualized and pierced Speed's chest in a flash. The force carried Speed's body and impaled him to the floor. After a moment, his body slid to the floor lifeless. Even at death, his eyes fixed on Blaze with raging hatred. "It's not a problem, right?" Blaze asked Magellan. Magellan shook his head. "They are just criminals. It doesn't matter if they die." People like Crocodile, Redfield, Bullet, World, and some vicious criminals were amazed by Blaze's strength. Just now, if they aren't wrong, it should be the haki of kings. But, it's their first time noticing haki can be exercised this way. What a strong person! They all thought. His overpowering aura kept them quiet. With the floor finally quiet, Ace was detained in a solitary cell. Blaze looked at Ace, whose hands and feet were shackled by sea stone restraints. With some serious wounds, he looks bad. "Blaze, kill me. Please." Ace pleaded in his embarrassed state. "I can't and I won't do it." Blaze shook his head and thought silently, "Don't worry, Ace. You won't die, and if nothing goes wrong, Whitebeard won't be killed either." Making sure everything is okay, Magellan led Blaze back to the top. After leaving Impel Down,
Blaze's marine ship set sail to Marineford as Sengoku called him back. The last few days are sure as hectic, making me run here and there with no rest. Blaze shook his head and called Regis and Kuina. I will be gone for an hour or two. If there's any emergency, you know what to do.
Instructing them, he figured disappeared from the ship.
After a few minutes, Blaze reappeared on Dawn Island and appeared next to Madara.
Madara, it's time you make the move, Blaze spoke and handed him a small vial that had 2 drops of golden liquid. It's nothing but God's blood made by Blaze, blended with solar energy. As we planned before, once Ace's public execution is released in the newspaper, you can contact Whitebeard, Blaze spoke.
Finally, I was getting bored recently.
Madara's eyes turned into Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan as he showed an excited expression. Be careful when you contact Whitebeard, he's quite stubborn and prideful.
Of course, not as prideful as you, Blaze explained.
Considering 5 Elders' personality, they won't let him participate in the summit war as it would enhance his prestige among the Marines. It's why he prepared the God's blood.
With that, the strength of Whitebeard may be even better than in his heyday. What will happen when Prime Whitebeard attacks Marineford? What if Madara joins Whitebeard?
It would be nothing but disaster. There will be casualties, but war can't be won without sacrifice. The Marines have to understand only he has the strength to stop Whitebeard and Madara. Only he can end the war and save the Marines from destruction. That wraps up this part of What If Transmigrated into One Piece and became a Marine.
Thanks so much for listening.
As always, new parts drop every 4 days, so be sure to stay tuned. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released 1 day ahead of YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and please consider supporting the original author as well.
See you in the next one.